VPN, TikTok, and other platforms. How the government tries to limit our voice about freedom of speech and privacy in recent years. Governments around the world have increased their control over how people communicate through social networking platforms. Increased government regulation has been put in place to limit content deemed to be offensive or dangerous, which has in effect limit freedom of speech and an individual's right to privacy. One notable example of increased regulation is the U.S. federal government's recent ban of popular Chinese-owned social media application, TikTok. In August 2020, the Trump administration issued an executive order banning all domestic transactions related to the app, a move that was intended to protect U.S. citizens' personal data from being used by the Chinese government. As a result, the app was forced to completely shut down in the U.S., and its users thus had their freedom of speech and privacy taken away. Another example of increased government control is the censorship of virtual private networks (VPNs) in China, which provide people with a secure and anonymous connection to the Internet. In July 2018, China's government enacted new laws that restricted the use of VPNs in an effort to increase control over its citizens' access to the Internet. These laws essentially blocked access to websites and services outside of China, which limit a person's right to privacy and freedom of speech. Overall, it is becoming increasingly clear that governments are reigning in control over citizens' freedom of speech and privacy on a global scale. This means that people around the world must be vigilant to ensure their rights to freedom of speech and privacy are not violated by government regulation. In order to have their voices heard, people must take it upon themselves to demand that their governments adhere to their fundamental rights.